Now, before you go any further, it's important to get the plumber or the gas fitter in to organize the flue in the chimney. For my oven, it was recommended to use a 20 to 25 centimeter, that's 8 to 10 inch diameter flue. Depending upon the installation, there will be different requirements. Because mine has the oven mouth inside the house, there needed to be a bend in the flue to allow it to run up the outside of the house. In an outdoor installation, of course, it can just go straight up. Follow the manufacturer's recommendation for the flue size and height. Remember, a taller chimney will draw better. I was actually worried about smoke in the house, but my oven draws perfectly. If you want more information about fire building and using the oven properly, you might want to get the Pizza Gary video on driving a wood-fired oven. It will more further explain and demonstrate all of the basics of how to build the fire, maintain the heat, and get the most out of your oven. Okay, now, after each piece of the dome is laid in place, the joins are mortared together with Refrax mortar. Be generous here. This is an installation that will be here for a long time. All of the mortar is used on the outside of the oven only. You will not refrax on the inside of the oven. After curing well, you'll have some choices to make. You can now just put the blanket on and refrax over the top of it, and you're done. But we know from research that the oven will be much more efficient and will stay hot longer if we keep the heat from dissipating. So we chose to refrax the entire dome to make the oven much more efficient. Okay, after that refrax had been put on and cured for a day or so, the special thermal blanket goes on. By the way, all of the products, like the Refrax mortar and the thermal blanket, were included in the kit that was shipped to me. The thermal blanket then is wrapped completely around the dome and wired together with the joins in order to maintain a good cover and not allow for any heat dissipation. Then you can refrax over the top of the blanket again. If it's an exterior installation, or you're going to expose the dome, this would be the final insulation layer, except for any decoration that you might want to put on. Whew, lots of insulation. Well, this is all so very important to making the perfect oven and the perfect pizza and bread. Those little ovens that sit in the backyard that don't have this much insulation are really just toy ovens. They're inefficient, and the heat is very uneven. If you're serious, and if you want it done right, you will need all of this insulation. But there is still more. Now, depending upon the size of the support and the surround around the oven, you will need up to a ton of sand to cover the dome completely to a depth of about 8 to 10 inches. Again, make this dry sand. Moisture will evaporate out, but it's better to start with dry. Okay, nearly done. Now you'll pour in the last insulator. There are no photos here because it's just a dark cave up there, and we're putting in the sand and the vermiculite in at the top of the oven. You just fill up the cavern around the dome. Vermiculite. The last layer is a synthetic product that is a great insulation product, and you'll top up the cavity on top of the sand to an additional depth of about 10 inches. Then, in my installation, we could go ahead and finish the roof and get rid of the tarp that kept the rain out and finish the structure. It now looks like part of the house, and it's certainly built to last. Okay, the oven itself is done. Quite a project just to make a pizza. But wait until you taste the pizza and the bread that does come out of this project. It's worth every single bit of effort to do the job right when you install this oven. Now, if this is an outside install, you're nearly done. Just put the arch on the pedestal in front of the mouth of the oven and hang the door, and you're ready. But we couldn't make it that simple. We made a hearth on the inside of the house. We just didn't want a hole in the wall, so we made a false stone-like hearth in front of the oven door. Now, there's a lot of options that you can go to here. Your imagination is about the only limiter. Now, mine wanted to feature in the dining room, so we wanted it to look like a substantial stone shelf unit. Bob designed it from wood and then coated it with render to make it look like the real thing. He then put in brick pavers on the floor in front of the assembly in order to make a hearth up to the whole thing. He put it in a curved shape that really looks great. It protects against flying embers. Do remember that this is a fireplace, so fireproofing and safety is vital. Then, to finish the look of the old wood-fired oven in a home, we put in a false chimney up above the mouth of the oven. Bob actually allowed for a little extra flue in the facade of this false chimney, which would catch any errant smoke that might sneak past the main flue. But we found the efficiency of the main flue more than enough to deal with the smoke. Then, the finishing touches were added with a terrific textured paint job and, of course, with lighting. No matter what type of oven you choose to put in or where you choose to install it, you'll find that careful planning and professional building techniques will pay off, not only in the appearance of the installation, but in the efficiency of the oven itself. I just love my wood-fired oven, and I feel that it has made a great addition to the dining room in our home. But importantly, I truly love the incredibly great pizzas and bread that come out of the wood-fired oven. I'm certain that when you decide to install yours, you, like I did, will wonder, why did I wait so long to put it in? Having and using a wood-fired oven means that you are on your way to making the world's best gourmet pizzas. I'm Pizza Gary. Thanks for watching.